not just in this room, but in your own communities every day, in big and small ways, doing the hard, hopeful work of building a more inclusive world in moments that nobody sees, but everyone is feeling. Your work really matters now more than ever, and you know you're not doing this work alone. Because we don't create change in isolation, we do it together, and this room is proof of that. So please, let's give a round of applause to everybody that is here just for showing up today.
Okay, welcome on Word Out Community Channel, the show that actually provides prominent people to share their stories, to share the important things that they are doing in the community of refugees and immigrants. Currently, we are staged in Detroit, Michigan, about Welcoming Interactive Conference. Today, I have one of the organizing team member who will share a little bit about what does actually Welcoming Interactive mean. So thank you very much, Rachel, for having time with us on this show.
Yeah, thank you, Emma.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yes.
I'm doing great. We're here with 900 people.
900 people. Wow, how long have you been planning this?
Planning this conference for about a year, since we hosted one last year, but this is about work that is been happening for many years to build welcoming communities for everyone.
Okay, so tell us more about you. Who are you and how are you connected to Welcome Interactive Conferences? Yes.
So I'm Rachel Parrish. I'm the Executive Director of Welcoming America, and we are the organizers of this conference in partnership with Global Detroit and the City of Detroit. And this is about convening all of the people around the country and some globally who are building welcoming communities in their own backyards.
What does that mean, like welcoming interactive? What does it mean in general for someone who actually don't understand?
Yeah. Well, I think we all understand what it means to live in a place where we fully belong, where we can participate, where we're valued, where our background isn't seen as a threat, but as an asset. And that's true whether we have an immigrant or refugee background or however we've come to a community.
Okay.
So the people that are coming to this conference are those like you, who
like
are really
me.
Champions of this value, who want to see their communities be welcoming and who are doing the work to make sure that the policies are in place, the culture is in place, the connections between neighbors are in place, so that everyone really, especially in the environment that we're living in now, knows what belongs.
Wow, beautiful. So tell me, in this political environment, current administration, crazy. How can the city practice welcoming in this political environment that we are living in right now?
Yeah, so I think right now there's really two competing visions about the America that we want to be.
Yep.
One is a very exclusive vision. This is a country only for some people. And we see a really inclusive America as being in the best interest of everyone.
Yep.
And as a mayor, as a community activist, as just an everyday person, everybody has a role to play in contributing to making that vision possible, making it possible for everyone to thrive.
Yeah.
And that starts with, for some people, it's just getting to know our neighbors, right, at a human level, sharing our own story, humanizing the issue of immigration. It's not what we're hearing coming out of Washington.
Yep.
And then it's really important for mayors, local elected officials to be supporting policies that reduce barriers, for people to participate fully.
People to participate. Cool. That's interesting. And what are the successful things you have seen in the welcoming cities across the country? I know you have been organizing this for quite a time. What are the successful things you have seen when it comes to welcoming refugees and immigrants in the city?
Yeah, well, I think, when we think about what it means to belong, that means, being able to have your voice heard in a community and informing decisions that are being made. So, a lot of people who are now, involved in the community, becoming citizens, serving on boards and commissions, getting active in the community, who have immigrant and refugee backgrounds. There are, services available that make it easier maybe to find a job in your, career from back home, or to learn English, or, just to get to know your neighbors, share your culture. learn about somebody else's culture.
Yeah.
Those are things that make for a great community.
Those are actually successful things. I've observed those things too myself. What are some of practical ways people can be welcoming in their communities right now? So like, refugees and the other individuals, partners, resettlement agencies, like, what advice would you give them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we talked about this morning, there's a lot of forces working to make us feel afraid and feel like we need to go into hiding, and it's a scary time. It's a scary time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But as a community, we can be working together so that no one has to feel that heaviness on their shoulder alone.
Yeah.
And I think, being able to show up for each other just as neighbors, take care of each other, make sure that people, aren't being made invisible, that we don't feel invisible, that we feel confident and strong sharing our story and humanizing each other. I think that's one of the important places where it all begins.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking care of people around. I see people are having good time, music. I've seen people, eating food. This is great.
That's how we do. That's how we break
great.
bread together.
This is really great.
Thank
I
you for
really
being
love,
here.
and people are connecting and making some kind of great partnership. After here, I think there is a lot coming up.
Yes, and thank you for your work, and big thank you, to Refugee Congress.
Yeah.
And it's really important that we have great leaders in this space who can be positive role models for others.
For those who doesn't know Refugee Congress, this is a refugee-led organization which actually empowers community leaders, people with lived experience to share their stories, to amplify their work of advocacy. And we are part of this work. We appreciate Welcome Interactive to include us in this work. Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much. It was
so
a pleasure
much.
to have you in
Yeah,
my
likewise.
show.
Thank you.
you.